Good, good, good. Can you hear me with the mask on? It's all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. I can hear you pretty fine.
Can you just, first of all, I mean, just take us through the emotions of senior night and, playing in front of, you get the chance to play in front of fans for the first time this season. What was that like?
Oh man, it was unbelievable, man. It was definitely an energy giver. We definitely built off it. I feel like we played better, played more with the edge, because we finally get to play in front of our fans. So it was definitely a good feeling. We played our butt off and we got the dub.
Yeah, you had a couple of clutch plays when it got tight there in the second half. You had that alley oop and then you hit the big three. What were you just seeing on those plays?
I was just saying, someone else needs to step up. Someone else got to be aggressive, and I'm always looking to be aggressive. I've seen my shot and I took it, man, and it went in. Just as simple as that.
Go ahead, Nick.
First of all, congrats on the win on your senior night. Great game, obviously. Just talking through this season, I mean, you looked a lot more comfortable in a lot of aspects of your game. Coming into this year, I mean, what was the mindset? And when you go out there and have a bigger role, how do you kind of step up into that role and play effectively?
It's something that my coaches told me, prior to this year, that I was gonna have a bigger role and I was gonna be a leader for all the younger guys coming in. So that whole time we had off for the COVID, I just took time, to work on my game, work on my health, all that things because I know that these younger guys was gonna need me. So it was a lot of things mentally, that I had to do, in order to be a better leader, better player, and that's just things that I was focused on in the off season.
I know we talked about this game yesterday, but now that it's come and gone, I mean, what's one thing that you're kind of going to remember from tonight? Any moment that really stood out to you?
Uh, Definitely watching my mom talk on the big screen. I really wasn't expecting it. I didn't know that she made a video like that. It kind of got me emotional, and I'm really not an emotional guy, so that's something that I probably would cherish and remember.
Yeah, Xavier got it to one with like a minute left, and you guys call timeout, and then run that play where DJ gets downhill and he gets under the basket for the big layup. What's he given you guys this year? It seems like he's come up big and clutch plays a lot this season.
Oh yeah, no. DJ have gave us, a comfortability, to know that another great guard has the ball that can make plays, that can also pass and get other guys involved. So with DJ being here, it's a stress relief. We have a great player. He's strong, fast, athletic. He's all those tools, but he's only like 6'4". So just having a player like that, only makes our teams better and even more special.
Yeah, and Theo, your fellow senior, he was dropping a couple nice dimes in the second half. He was hit a couple clutch free throws. He had a big block too, but that's he does that. But did you ever think 4 years ago that Theo would be have that kind of passing vision and knocking down big
Oh
free
yeah,
throws?
definitely. Theo always had like a high IQ for the game. Theo's like his favorite thing to do is pass first, and that's something that I cherish from Theo because he's so gifted offensively that he can pretty much score at any time. And just the fact that he has pass first in his mind just shows his character and who he is as a person. So he's loving for it.
I know you guys have been really hot these last few games here. 3 really nice wins headed into the Big East tournament. What kind of momentum does that give you guys? Coming up on New York soon.
It give us huge momentum, give us confidence, give us life, give us something, to look forward to because things has been a little rough. I feel like we played good basketball. We just couldn't get the ball to bounce our way towards the end on the stretch. So I feel like it's a lot of big things coming from this group. I feel like we still not done. We're still developing, as a team, and we still, got things to work on. But things is definitely coming together. The pieces are starting to, match up. It's trying to fix the puzzle.
Your guy Greg, I know he's not a part of the senior day festivities, but he had a big first half, knocked down that big three at the end of right before halftime.
Mm.
It seems like he just hit another level these last 3 or 4 games. What have
Yeah.
you seen from him? How has he developed?
See, the thing with G is he's been dealing with injuries every year he's been here. So, like for me personally, I don't know how that feels. So that's a whole nother mental state, that someone has to deal with. So, I commend G for that because it's not something that is easy. Dealing with injuries every year, and at first it was hard for him, but as us being his brothers, we always had his back, and we told him everything is gonna be good. And eventually, he found that spark, that helped us, and he's rolling out. We love it. We let him hoop. We let him play his game because he's special talent as well.
Good. Yeah, Xavier got it to 1 there late, and you guys called timeout. You got the ball in DJ's hands. What can you take us through that play call? What do you call that? You've run that a lot this year when DJ kind of takes the handoff and gets downhill and gets underneath the basket. Take us through that.
Yeah. At that moment in the game, we wanted to try to get downhill, and DJ's our best downhill player, and try to get to the basket and make a play. You don't know what play he's going to present, but we felt like we could get him downhill, and he made a really strong move. Our guys executed out of timeouts. I thought defensively, for the most part of the game, we were really locked in. This is a team that has a great guard in Scruggs, has a terrific big man in Fremantle, and that guys can really hit shots. And, our guys were well aware they put 91 on us in Cincinnati, but defensively we were much better this game.
Go ahead, Nick.
Yeah, going off that defensive point, through the first, 7 or 8 minutes of that game, you guys looked really intense defensively, maybe some of the highest intensity you guys have had all year. What was kind of the game plan going into it defensively, especially, as you mentioned, on a team that hung 91 on you guys in your first matchup?
Yeah, we wanted to really crowd Fremantle on the post because we have a great deal of respect for him. And then, our ball screen defense was going to be huge because after movement, they get the ball in the hands of Scruggs, who's, a tremendous player. And I thought our ball screen defense for the first half was really good. We had some breakdowns in the second half, but fortunately at the end of the game, we picked it back up.
Yeah, in the second half too, when things were getting close, you guys still managed to stay on top. What does that speak to your team this year? You guys have had a lot of games like this where you've, kind of battled back and forth. What does that speak to this team's intensity and how they really, play and distribute the ball?
Yeah, I think our guys were incredibly motivated to win for our seniors. The people in the locker room, whether it's their teammates or their coaches, wanted to make sure that Kobe, Theo, Jamal, and Ike had a senior night that represents who they are as people, and they're great people. And I thought our guys gave a great effort for our seniors.
Yeah, Jamal hit a couple big shots in the second half, and Theo was, threaded a couple nice passes and hit some big free throws. Did you ever think that 4 years ago, Theo would kind of be an initiator on offense and hitting clutch free throws?
Yeah, he was terrific. Just like we tried to make it hard to score in the paint on Fremantle, they were really putting 2 guys on our post guys. So they were trying to take away our post. In the second half, Theo made great decisions. He had a beautiful feed to Dawson, one to Cy. Really played with great force and poise against a very aggressive low post defense.
And a couple of nice performances off the bench. Greg in the first half had those 10 points. Did he get hurt a little bit? Was that why he didn't come back in?
Yeah, I don't ask Greg anymore if he gets hurt. I don't want to jinx anything. He's fine. I think he just may have rolled his ankle a little bit. But Greg has been one of the catalysts to our play in the most recent weeks. He's been a terrific player for us since the Butler game. And, Greg's a very easy guy to root for. And when he scores, sometimes his baskets are worth more because of the energy it gives our team.
And, after you guys hit that rough patch where you lost 6 or 7 games, what do you think's been the key to this strong finish to the season, winning 4 out of 5?
Well, our guys have worked and they prepared well. And, we've listened to each other and tried to stay focused on the task at hand of getting better and figuring out ways to win. And to our guys' credit, we've been able to do that. And hopefully we have more in us.
I know we kind of talked about this yesterday too, but now that the game is come and gone, when you see these ceremonies, these guys coming off the floor, hugging everyone in their last regular season game, as a coach, does it ever get easier, or does it kind of hit you every year, in that moment?
It hits you every year. I got really emotional before the game when those guys were being announced. I've known Kobe now for close to 4 years, but those other guys I've known since they were, finishing up their sophomore year in high school. It's a long-term relationship, and there's been great investment made both ways, players and coaches and the people that support them. And they mean a lot to me personally, and they mean a lot to our program, and they've represented Marquette in a first-class manner. And it makes me emotional thinking about the type of human beings they are and the type of men they are. Whatever community they end up in, that community is going to be better because they're in it.
Was it weird seeing people back in the seats up at Fiserv?
Well, it was great. One of the things I hate for our guys is not being able to play in front of our fans. Our fans give us a lot of support. They give us energy, and playing in an empty Fiserv, although we're appreciative to have a season, there's nothing like fans, even though it was a smaller number than usual, having them in the gym.
How are we going to try to keep this momentum going, into the Big East tournament next week?
Well, it comes back to our preparation. We need to, it's going to be a quicker turnaround, but we need to prepare well and get ready to try to extend our season in New York.